How we doing? Welcome back to In the Madhouse. Great guest today, James Hubbard. Fellas, how do we think the first one went? Paul Inks, quality to get the insights on, on and off the oche as well of Paul. I think it went really well. Say it was his first ever one. I thought, it could not have gone any better, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll say it then, we'll say it again now. If we didn't know about the podcast, you thought it was our first ever one, because it was spot on. From start to finish.
Yeah, I think we did flow really well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Picked up really well. Like you said, it just bounced off each other, and I were really happy at how it went, yeah?
Yeah, I agree, mate. I mean, Paul were a great guest to have on as well to start with. We're just easy flowing, great guy to talk to, great stories, and yeah, he were everything just felt really easier.
Yeah, quality guest. And moving forward now, we do have the 2012 World Youth Final with us, James Hubbard, today. Come all the way up from Norwich, so really thankful for that. I'm sure James has got a great story to tell. An unbelievable youth player back in the day. Would say what it didn't really go his way after the world title, what he did win in the youth. But I'm sure James will elaborate more on that for us. So that'll be really interesting to see, where he's at now. Personally, we do know he's going well again and wanting to get back into it. So, yeah, I can't wait to get James in and, have a listen about that.
Yeah, I agree. It's... We've seen, James from being a kid and doing what he did, and obviously he's coming up again now. He's getting back into it, so yeah, looking forward to what he's got to say, mate.
Yeah, it's a good career. Like I say, he came from the top, being the World Youth Champion, qualified for a few majors, sort of took a break from it now, coming back to it again. So hopefully, it could be another step in his journey. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. Yeah,
it's definitely going to be a great episode. But yeah, just moving forward then now, couple of thank yous to say as we do move forward as well as a brand, and the podcast definitely going in the right direction. I'd just like to say a thank you to a good friend of ours, Julian Kinniston of Propaganda. Julian's done a lot for myself personally in darts, and now to help me achieve with my good friends yourselves in next chapter with a podcast and that. Just like to say a big thanks to Julian and his help throughout the years, and long may it continue. Just like to say even bigger thank you to Chris Parker from CJP Roofing, who's agreed to... We've got a sponsor now, lads.
Yeah, I know.
We've got a few...
We're moving forward,
a few episodes. Chris put a few feelers out there. Chris agreed to sponsor the next 3 podcasts, so... great to have Chris on board with us. He's done a lot, a local roofer from West Yorkshire, covers all of Yorkshire. You got a bit about him there?
Yeah,
off
we've just got
a
bit off website here. We want to say about Chris's company. Obviously, it's CJP Roofing and Construction.
CJP Roofing and Construction are a successful Yorkshire roofing and home improvement company. We believe looking after your roof is an important measure to ensure in the long run you don't encounter any costly problems. We provide some of the market's most affordable products, whatever your budget. CJP workers are well trained to advise you our energy saving solutions from roofing and building to loft, cavity and wall insulation. Chris, our managing director, has always put customer service high on his agenda to ensure the customer is happy and looks after every stage. All our workers are hand-picked craftsmen who are highly trained and will always be on site from start to finish to ensure quick, efficient installation is carried out with minimum disturbance.
Beautiful. Yeah, so once again, big thanks to Chris for helping us out in the next 3 podcasts. Bit of a banner there. I will say, cheers, Chris. I've just cut my finger off putting your banner up. So cheers for that, mate. Thank you very much. So shall we get Hubbard in, boys?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
Let's get him in.
Let's get started.
So then, Hubbard, good to have you on with us, pal.
Yeah, cheers, Ben. It's good to see you.
It's been a while since we've been together.
No, it has, mate. It's been a long time.
Had some good times on tour, mate. Yeah, looking forward to it today. We've got decent lineup for you to indulge into it with
Try
us.
my best to answer your questions.
before we do get started, we'd just like to, send hearts, out to Robert and Ruth Green and all their family. Myself and James played with Jamie Green a lot of years on the development tours and that. Been good mates with Jamie, good friends with Robbie as well.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Sadly on Wednesday the 16th of July, young Robert Green sadly lost his life. Can't imagine to feel the pain what all that family's going through at the minute. We really do send all our thoughts, prayers and love to the Green family. But we do like to give a shout out as well to Alan Norris, a great family friend of the Greens, and the work what Alan's doing for the Greens. He's set up a GoFundMe page that's doing really well at the minute. Nice bit of money coming in to help the family. It's never going to take away the pain, but it's certainly going to help with funeral costs and that. We will put a link in the description if you can donate as little as much to that cause as possible. Alan doing a great job, mate, and from us all here in the Madhouse, we'd just like to pass all his love and best wishes on to the Green family as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get into it then.
Yeah, so James, start. How will you drive up to Yorkshire?
It was all right. It wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Feel good to be back in God's own country then?
Well, I've always said I actually do like Yorkshire. Played a lot of darts here, Barnsley Metrodome. Ben would always come over and sort of watch whenever he could, or he was playing there, youth tours or challenge tours and stuff. So, yeah, I like it up here.
Good man.
Just there is predominantly a darts podcast. But if I said to you Call of Duty, do you want to elaborate on that for a bit?
Wrote that down there.
So a bit of a keen player.
Well, no, I just played a bit of Call of Duty when I was a kid. Yeah.
What it just a bit of Call of Duty?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, pretty decent standard.
I was all right at it. Yeah, I was all right at it. Well, it kept me out of trouble.
Yeah, so. I think you were ranked top 10 in country. Were you at one point?
I don't know. Maybe in a team.
I think you might do.
He's had his certificate out showing us already. That was the first thing he got out.
Yeah. No, I loved. We were all kids and loved our Xbox, PS, whatever it was then, and. Yeah, I loved it.
You've got to have something away from darts as well, I suppose.
Well, there you go. So I had a great. I was always trying to keep fit, play a bit of Call of Duty, and so that was.
One of them, if the darts sort of went away, you were like, "I'm a Call of Duty."
There you go.
I'd have gone to get MLG. It hasn't done him any harm.
Maybe that's what I need to take up again, and then I'll be back.
Kebab takeaway, a bit of Call of Duty,
bit of FIFA.
Yeah, might be world champion next year.
Anyway, thanks for that, Ben.
Yeah, no worries, mate. We will get into darts then. Young kid growing up in Norwich. Big Ipswich fan, aren't you? No, I'm only messing. Big Norwich fan.
Tractor boys.
Yeah. Let's dive into that then. How old were you when you first started? How did you get into it? Your dad were a great player as well, wasn't he? So,
yeah, it was more my dad, obviously. So I must have been probably really young, really 5, 6, 7 years old. Watching my dad play, and you just get the knack of it, don't you? You kind of watch, and he was so smooth as well when he threw that you'd learn quite quickly how to throw a dart. So he bought me sort of like the plastic darts and the Velcro darts and all that sort of thing, and he wouldn't let me on the main board for a while because I was only little.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I started to throw on the main board, we had it a little bit lower, so it wasn't like the full.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just sort of realised straight away I was really good at it. So that was really where it came from. But Dad was a wonderful player, so it was more from him.
Yeah.
And you watch like the UK Opens as a kid. You would have done Ben and things like that. And it doesn't matter what age you are, or the match plays and the World Championships, Lakeside, and it was just a big thing in our house.
Your dad actually played at Lakeside, didn't
he? Yeah, he played at Lakeside. Yeah, 86. Yeah, he lost to Jockey Wilson. I think it was second game, so I don't know how many players were in it then. Might have been last 16 quarterfinal. I'm not too sure, but he beat Tony Payne from USA, America, the first game, and then lost to Jockey Wilson. Yeah.
What score was that game?
Pass.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think he's ever actually shown me the game. So
Oh, so it can't have been
to
too
be
good.
fair, he should. I keep trying to get him to show me the old, videos and.
I'm going to say it'll
But
be
he
on a
just won't.
VHS or Beta.
Yeah,
Max,
VHS. Yeah,
somewhere.
we're gonna have to go to Carby and try and buy a. But no. He was a very good player. Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
Can you remember when you first started playing competitive then? Obviously, your dad must have taken you out to the pubs and clubs around you locally.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started playing, in the leagues and that round there?
So I played. I don't know if I played local league first or not, because I think there was like an age thing then. You can go in the pubs at whatever age. But I could get into like the youth Super League side. So my dad was. I don't know if he was captain or he was a big like part of my local team, Wyndham, the Super League, and so I just sort of played from then. Probably like 9 years old, 10 years old, and then done all right at the youth Super League stuff, and then I went and played county youth. So that was really the first time.
Sorry, James.
Yeah, that's right. No, that was pretty much. What it was.
Like, did your dad know you were a good player straight away? Or did you know yourself you were a good player straight away?
I think he could see it.
Yeah.
More than sort of myself, because if you haven't played competitively, you don't really know how good you are.
Yeah.
So I was scoring pretty well quite early. Working out my finishes and stuff, and I think he just thought, let's take him to then the Super League stuff, and then I kind of excelled, and he said, let's do the county youth stuff, and it kind of went from there really. So it wasn't really me, but I did notice it quite early that I was beating people that were older than me. Whether it be local league that I could play here and there, but not much, or So.
Just elaborating on that then. You said you grew up in Wyndham.
Yeah.
And obviously your dad played in that league. Were there any other players in and around that league or around that area were playing to a very good standard, like your dad, or were it just really...
obviously my dad was the ultimate role model in the sense of he had played at a really high level and was still playing at a high level then. I think he was in the PDC then, so he was one of the first to join. When there was only like 100 odd members, it was quite early times. Like, I don't know, 2000. Say I was 11 or 12, would have been early 2001, 2002, 2003, something like that. So as soon as they created a system, before it was the WDC, wasn't it? Or what? I think it was what it was called, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
WDC.
Yeah.
Then they had a PDPA thing, and so Dad did that. But he was the role model for me, obviously. But there was good players around, but I don't know if there was really any that excelled at sort of his level. So I was lucky, really, in that sense that I had him. So.
And you were saying there as well that you started playing at 5 or 6, and you realised your scoring was quite good. How long did it take to get your first ever 180?
Oh, it was a little while after that. I kind of I was very straight, so I could always hit like a 320s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I say a while, a couple of years after that, maybe I'm at 8 or 9 possibly. I hit the first 180 or whatever. My parents would tell you better because I probably ran around the house. But I was just always very good at hand-eye coordination. So I was good at football. I could play golf. I could play cricket. I could play tennis. So darts kind of came quite easy.
You find that in a lot of sportsmen, don't you? I mean, if they're a good footballer, a good cricketer,
a
lot of them they take to they pick up darts and they're like,
it's hand-eye coordination, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah. So, youth county darts playing for Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk. Yeah.
Doing really well in that. I can imagine you were playing in south of England as well.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, I can't remember actually how they. I think it might have been the north. Because I think the south was like, because you used to have the north versus south, didn't you? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure. Did you play for the north?
Oh, I never quite that good actually.
But I think I
was.
I think we were in the north because I think I played with Rhys Robinson, and I think he was in the north side because you used to play that north versus south.
Yeah.
So as much as Norfolk is the south, I think they.
NYD.
Whatever it was. Yeah. So, but at the same time, yeah, you're right. It was in the south of.
So you must have got noticed. How old were you when you did represent England? Didn't you for quite a while in the youth darts
15,
well?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 15. Yeah. So, trying to think. Yeah, it was 2007. I think it was 2007. Yeah, 2007, 2008. So 15, 16. I only played 1 year though. They dropped me after that. Yeah.
Well.
We had. It was me.
Jake.
No, it was me, Sean Griffiths, Ricky Evans.
Ben Song.
Who was James Jennings.
Oh yeah.
Can you remember James Jennings?
Essex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The love machine.
Yeah.
No, he's a good lad. But yeah, I done really well there. I just didn't win a game on stage, and they dropped me. So
Must have realised then that you had a bit of talent there.
yeah, I mean, I was just enjoying playing. I just love darts, and I think we can all sort of say that whatever age you started, darts was it was more of a release, a social thing as well. And when you're good at something, it's quite fun. Obviously, you can be like we said earlier, it could be Call of Duty, it could be football, it could be anything really. And darts just came quite naturally to me, and because Dad would take me to places, or my mum or my uncle Will, who took my dad around a lot, I was just able to get to places quite easily. So I just loved every minute of it really.
It's a good story, but like you said with your dad, and you find that with I think a lot of dart players. They've seen the dad playing darts, and I would say, man, I'd see my dad throwing darts at a board. I'm like, just something about it just takes you to it, and you're like, that looks so good doing that.
Yeah, you just want to. You
want to be like what they
absolutely, and you want to
doing,
kind of, you want to think, oh, try and make you proud. And
They're idle, aren't they?
Absolutely, they are. Yeah, and he still is now. It makes no difference that he doesn't play now, but like I'd still, every time I play, I'd go to work and say, oh, I did this last night, Dad, and he'd be like, oh yeah, well done, son. It's like you just want him to say well done, and it's
Did you ever? I would always kind of like this, like when I used to play, like my dad used to beat me all the time. But then I'd be like, you get to that point where you start beating him, and then you're like, yeah, this is good, this, and you get beating him, but you're always kind of like, looking up to him, but then wanting to get to that level, and then once you started beating him, you had something inside you.
Oh, absolutely. I was about to say, I had a conscience, right? So I remember a couple of times I'd play him in tournaments and not really want to win. But you get to that point where you can't really miss. So it's not, you don't do it on purpose, obviously, but you don't really want to beat your dad. But at the same time you do.
Yeah.
And it's an odd feeling. But yeah, it did take a while to do that though. So, I mean, he had the upper hand over the time.
Yeah.
So, obviously, county darts, youth darts. Did you ever, challenge yourself on BDO much?
No, I mean, again, just I played. So I got picked for county seniors quite early. So I was, I don't know, 12 or 13 maybe. I might have been before that. I can't quite remember.
For seniors?
Yeah, for seniors. Wow. Yeah. So they had to ring up Ollie Croft to get permission for me to play. It's similar to like Keegan Brown and Jamie Lewis. I think they done the same thing. So yeah, I was young. Ricky Evans was the same, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had to ring up, and then I played the county stuff, but I don't really think, because you played a lot of the BDO stuff, didn't you? But I don't think I ever. I mean, I went to the ones that I could get to, but I don't know if I really ever done loads of them. I mean, I played the Windmill World Masters and things like that, but I played more of the youth stuff, so. I don't really think I played done like Celsi and things like that, And
cost me a fortune. For not much return.
No, I tried my best, but I think it was more then. I don't think I was playing that great around that time. So as soon as I got dropped from England, I kind of lost my confidence a bit. So as soon as like all my mates that I'd met through youth level, like Ben and Ricky Evans, people like that, they were doing the BDO stuff, and I just wasn't playing very well. So. I just didn't do it.
Yeah, obviously, you did win the World Youth, which we will move on to a bit later. Were there any other titles what you did win before that?
Well, I won. There was I can't remember what it was called now. It was a Skipsy. What was the
Challenge Youth Tour?
Challenge Youth thing. Youth Challenge or something like that. So I was playing, like I said, I got dropped from England at 15, 16. And it was kind of at a crossroads, really. I didn't really know what to do. I couldn't get to my local Super League side, really. It really was struggling. And then I went to Skipsy for this youth thing, and I won it. Beat Ricky Evans in the final. And I thought, well, I mean, it's still obviously there. Yeah. You just needed that little click to work it out, and I kind of never looked back after that. But that's probably the only one, really.
It
Ben,
would have been a great field as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
some unreal talent, like just said, Ricky Evans.
Yeah, you had, like we said, our friends like Jake Jones, Reece Robinson,
Jamie Green,
Jamie Green, Matthew Dickin. You had
Ash Kaya.
Yeah, we had a really good bunch of youth players, and it wasn't an easy tournament to win. So and then Ricky Evans, to be fair, at the time was probably the best youth player that we were playing.
Well, he was playing for England seniors, wasn't he? At a very young age.
Yeah, him and like Pallett, I think Dave Pallett played.
They were.
Senior, but so that was where it took off after. So that was the only really one I won, sort of. Yeah.
So after you got dropped from England, you said like that took a big hit on your confidence.
Yeah.
Were you ever thinking, is this for me? Did you get
absolutely.
to that point? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I stopped for a while. Yeah, I didn't. I never had like diets or anything like that. I just couldn't. I just had no confidence.
No.
So it just kind of. As much, you put so much into it as a kid. Like I missed like my school prom. I never went clubbing as a kid. I was just darts all the time, and that was no pressure off my parents. My parents were probably the least amount of pressure in my life.
Yeah.
They would just say, if you want to play, play. If you don't play. And but eventually, I just kind of started playing again properly, and it kind of happened. But yeah, I went for a patch of not worrying at all.
Sometimes just taking a bit of time off does well,
yeah,
as well, doesn't it, man?
There's
We've all
no doubt
been there,
about
haven't we?
Yeah, I was going to sort of say about that. So when you were like between sort of 13 and 17, did you think to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna be a professional player. I'm gonna be on the pro tour.
I think I thought that more when I was a kid. So you practice at home and you'd pretend to be Kevin Painter or Ronnie Baxter or from them times. So I think I always had it in my mind that I'd love to be, because I wasn't really very good at anything else. So I thought darts would be that. So yeah, I would say I was always thinking that I'd love to be. But yeah,
just before you did get to the Pro Tour though, they obviously brought that stepping stone, if you will, and a good one at that. The PDC Development Tour, what came on. Can you remember like your first time there? Or
yeah, I do. Yeah, it was in Barnsley.
Yeah.
First one was Barnsley. So I think I didn't play. There was a few events beforehand, and then a lot of people went. So it was like, this is actually quite a big thing. Because you're not sure really at first, and you should really take the plunge. But I was kind of always like that little big fish, little pond. I didn't like to go out of my comfort zone really. And then when I went there, I was like, let's kind of give it a go or whatever. And I played Coach Stompy's son the first time I was
Coach Stompy Jr.
Yeah, he beat me. And then I played Reese Robinson the second tournament, and he beat me again. So it wasn't that I didn't play badly. I thoroughly enjoyed being there, which is obviously why I carried on after that. But it was nice to play in a proper environment rather than like in an ice rink, or in a pub or
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the youth tour was wonderful, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah, well, yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, we had some good times, really good times.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and made some mates for life, didn't we? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a big thing as well. Like when you got to your development tours, your challenge tours, it felt professional.
Oh, it was
when you
so
walk,
professional.
and everything, you've got booths and this and that. You're not just in a, like you say, an ice rink where everyone's like this and that.
Yeah.
It feels professional, so I think it makes you feel a bit better about yourself.
Oh, 100%. And like I said, I do take the mick about the ice rink thing, but we did play a Windmill World Masters there. Yeah, in Hull, yeah. And it was like, so as soon as we went to these PDC events, you realise, because when my dad played in the PDC, it was in pubs. We didn't have sports arenas and stuff. You'd literally go, so I'd go with my dad and to Nottingham, say, and it'd be in a pub, just like a local pub. And you'd have, board, and you'd have like Phil Taylor there trying to like move you over to throw.
And then Eric Bristol.
Yeah, and it's like, that was what it was. And obviously darts become massive, but it took a while to get to that point, because Wigan, Barnsley and all these places, they're big places to be putting boards up and trying to be. But yeah, that, I mean, you'll know, Kez, like as soon as we went, it was just, it felt professional,
Yes,
right? And you want to play in those events,
As soon as you walked in, you had the table seating in the middle, didn't you? And then like all the boards on outside. But the respect in there as well. Yeah. Like the practice area used to be like in a different room, didn't it? Where you could like make a little bit of noise. But the respect what you had to have in them venues were,
Yeah, well, there were signs up on wall, weren't there?
Well, just
you don't have people.
You grew up.
Yeah,
that was what it was. You matured.
You don't have people on a microphone, do you? Sorry, James.
No, you're fine. Yeah, it's not like being at Eastbourne or Yarmouth or something where it's like board one, Ben Aldroy, James Hubbard or whatever. It was really professional. And again, I'll go back to it, that it makes you want to play. Because you look at that blue thing and then there's PDC.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're here for a reason. And we, a lot of us excelled, so.
draw used to be made, didn't it? And then like there'd be Gary Wood, Keith Bisbee, and that
Yeah,
going
yeah.
round with boards and
Yeah.
it just
So
Not like them days where you sat waiting. We need a marker on
Yeah.
board 4 down here.
Yeah.
Someone get a marker down here.
That's
Rab,
the thing.
Rab Butler screaming at Mike. Rab Butler, you're playing next to the speaker, and Rab Butler
There's
screaming
a
down
fiver
the
here for marker
microphone.
on board 4.
I'd
So-
accept that. Yeah.
So back then when you were playing like development tour, did you ever put any pressure on yourself playing, or were like, if I
Oh
win,
yeah,
I
of
win,
course.
lose, I lose?
Yeah, there was always pressure. I think. I mean, obviously you put pressure on yourself, but there's just pressure anyway.
Yeah,
Like being
yeah.
in that environment, and especially when you're looking at the players around you, you're like, you know. I had a bit of advice once. I'm not trying to name drop, but Phil Taylor said to me once. He said, "There's 128 James Hubbards in this room," and I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "They're all as good as you." And I thought, "Wow,
Yeah.
it's
That is
really
a
true."
good,
Yeah.
And
That is
because
good
if you think you're great, everyone else is here for that reason as
Yeah.
well, you know, and they're all as good as you. This was on the pro tour, but I just mean it was the same on youth tour or development tour.
Yeah, that's
we're
good.
all as good as each other. But yeah, the pressure would be immense because
They were
you know,
never an easy
you
draw.
just
or it'd
didn't,
be
you
very
didn't get
rare.
easy draws. Yeah, you really didn't. And I always say this to people, like that youth time that me and Ben were involved in. I always think it's the best standard of youth I've seen, and that's not
Stupid.
because we're in it.
It was.
But you
stupid.
see all them
just
players
was.
that have moved
Yeah.
on to what they've done,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
So
Luke
it speaks for
Humphries,
itself, doesn't it?
Vandenberg. Well,
Mike
so it was just sort of
Smith,
the real
yeah.
big names, eh?
Well, you had like Joe Cullen,
Ross Smith.
Michael Smith,
Michael van
Van
Gerwen,
Gerwen, yeah, Aaron Monk,
Dirk van Dijvenberg,
yeah, loads.
Luke
crazy.
Humphries.
Yeah,
Did you ever play Luke?
Yeah,
Oh.
I never lost to him at youth level.
Oh,
It
did you
changed
beat him
after
4-0?
that. Yeah,
Oh, I
think
did
so.
as well, yeah.
Here we go. It's not about you, Kes, you know.
Look, I've known you for too long. I've heard about 58
Dark
times.
database
It'll
try
get
and work
dropped
that
every
out.
time I see you.
Did you get it for no?
Yeah, did I?
Go on, son.
I've
Yeah,
known him for about
advance
2 months. Yeah, I've heard it about 300-400 times.
Yeah, you double that by a week.
Yeah. And the England Masters.
It was
Oh,
text
don't.
it was text us some night
Don't
ago.
get him
I
started.
think Luke
Kes,
Humphries
come on.
4-0 once.
No, but it was mega. It was mega.
It was
wasn't
just
it?
crazy,
Stupid
crazy.
standard,
So what are your thoughts on like youth darts now? Do you keep an eye out on them, and you know any players coming through? Do you
No, I
watch
don't-
any sort?
I'm not really sure. I don't. Not really.
No.
But I mean, I guess like the professionals now. Like I really like the look of that Gian Van Veen. I
Yeah.
think he's obviously he's not like a youth player anymore. But the way he scores is second to none.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably be one of the ones to come through. I mean, I know he is now, but I think he'll be a top player.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that, you've got players like Josh Rock and people like that. But I'm trying to think of people like kind of underneath that. I don't really take as much interest as I
No.
used to, but I'm not really sure why. I just
Concentrate more on your own stuff.
yeah,
I guess
so. But I think it's as well like you've then got to kind of know when the youth tour is on, and then watch the youth
That's
tour,
connected,
and it's
yeah.
like. I've got a family, so it's like
Yeah.
every now and then
it's
you
ju-
just
it's
kind
just
of want to
more-
break from.
You'll see the winner and go.
Yeah,
it must
but
be
there
that,
is some
yeah.
good. We mentioned earlier Charlie Manley
Yeah.
and players like that, and there's a lad round my own, Nathan Potter, and there's a
I think they're
Yeah, both
sponsored
at
by
same stable,
yeah.
I think they're playing next week at Modus.
Yeah,
I think
that's
what
right,
they said,
yeah.
And Berg Reeve's still in there too, isn't she?
Yeah, no, exactly.
She
I
might
mean,
get a talk out
she's
there.
superb, mate.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I mean, wonderful player.
So obviously you did win the World Youth Final. Back when I used to be on it, it used to be like a competition, like top 64, were it, of the Order of Merit,
Yeah,
and then we'd play in a knockout, and then obviously it'd be like the top two what would then play in the final of the Premier League final, which were the final of the youth.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah.
Was that how it was?
Yeah,
that
well,
like the ladder, if you like?
Yeah,
how
I'm
you
trying to
got
think. I think it was 48 of the top. I think it was 48 of the top of the rankings of the youth tour, and then I was a Riley's qualifier, so I wasn't even playing in the youth tour then. So you had 16 Riley's qualifiers.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
I
No.
really
Yeah.
didn't know.
So I wasn't going to it. That is genuine. Yeah, I
Wow.
wasn't going. I was laid in bed. There was a Riley's qualifier in Norwich to qualify for the World Youth, and I wasn't going to go. And my dad was like, "You need to go play this Riley's qualifier," and I went. Missed a 9 dart that day as well, double 12. Qualified, and then rocked up to Crawley. So yeah, it was 48 seeded, well, not seeded, but of the rankings.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it was 16. I might be wrong,
Yeah,
but I know there was
right.
riders qualifiers anyway, right? And and then it was straight knockout to.
Talk us through it. Did any notable names who you beat on the way? Or?
Yeah, I think I played a Scottish lad first game. I can't remember his name now, but I was a bit nervy in that one.
First game.
Got through it, yeah.
Always.
And then played. Can't remember my second game. And then I played. I think it was Jamie Lewis.
Quality player.
Then,
by the way. Quality
yeah,
player.
that
he was so good.
He had a couple of darts to beat me.
Yeah.
I think double 2. Can't quite remember. And then Dirk van Dijvenbode. Again, had darts to beat me in the final leg. And then,
so you didn't ride your luck at all then?
Yeah, I mean,
No?
when I got that 10 grand, I was like,
yeah.
Could have a bit of luck.
no, but you have, and the darts to win were at at real crucial times.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was sat on 300. It was I think it was only like a dart or two. If you know what I mean, it wasn't like 3 clear darts. And then I played Paul Barham in the semis, who was number 1 seed.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, left-hander from
Yeah,
Essex.
well, yeah. You saw it pink shirt and that.
Yeah.
God,
Steve Mace used to
It's a
sponsor it.
blast from past that.
Yeah, and then got through, and then the other semi was Sean Griffiths, Michael van Gerwen, and obviously Michael beat him. And
Can we just appreciate how good Sean Griffiths was?
Sean Griffiths, right. I've spoke to Van Gerwen about this multiple times. He's the best youth player we've ever seen.
You say that all the time, don't you, Kez?
Like when I were at Yorkshire Youth and we used to play against Lancashire, honest to God,
different level.
It was literally effortless how good Sean Griffiths and Mike Smith were. Growing up, like we'd be averaging like 60, 70.
Yeah,
decent game.
90
just constantly 90 averages plus. Like,
well, he hit 9 darts to qualify for Lakeside, didn't he, Sean? I think he hit one on the way. Like, it was just... he was a freak.
In my honest opinion, I think Lakeside... Sean might disagree, but he might agree with me. I think it broke him a bit, actually, his Lakeside.
Who did you play? Joey Tenberg, I think.
Joey Tenberg, yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a wonderful youth player. Absolutely wonderful. And he still got onto the PDC circuit. I think the year... Well, to be fair, you say it broke him.
Yeah.
He went to Q-Score and got through.
Yeah,
a couple of months later. With Dave Chisnell.
Yeah.
They got through on the same day, I think.
And that's a hard task.
Yeah.
But,
I agree with you. It was probably a little bit too early for him in that sense. As much as he was so good, it maybe was just... He probably didn't need Lakeside.
Yeah.
He was should have just gone to the PDC.
Yeah.
How old was he at the time then?
Can't
17,
have
18.
been 20. Yeah, he certainly wasn't 20.
Yeah, weren't he?
Yeah.
But we're talking like 14, 15, 16, 17. He was just a different level to us.
So going into that run that you had to youth final, which obviously won, you like you said, you were a Riley's qualifier in that. Did you go into it thinking, it's a bit of a free run for me? This, what were your thoughts going into it?
Well, to be honest, I was.
Were you confident?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'd been playing up north. I had an ex-girlfriend who lived in like Durham way, so I was playing up there a lot, like Newcastle and Middlesbrough and all them sort of. And I was winning tournaments up there. Playing like Colin Osborne, Andy Hamilton when they were top pros.
Yeah.
And I was beating them and winning sort of 1,000 here or 500 there and 2,000 there, and I was like, this is starting to happen a little bit here. Which is why I, went to the Riley's qualifier in the end after being convinced to.
Thanks, Dad.
But cheers, Dad. But so when I qualified, I got through, and it was great.
Yeah. When you did play Van Gerwen in the final, what were actually going through your head then, and what were your pre-match ritual, if you like? What were you just going through the motions backstage?
Well, I remember walking in and just realising how big it was. I think that was the main thing. The O2's huge, so for darts anyway. But I kind of walked in and I wanted to show my dad the stage, so I could tell that I was kind of more comfortable than I thought that I was, because I would have just gone into the back room and hid really. But I'd been playing well before that. I made a quarter-final, I think 2 quarter-finals on a Pro Tour, and it was the UK Open qualifiers, but they were Pro Tours then, weren't they? Kind of. Yeah. And I'd made 2 in Birmingham, kind of like the week or 2 before. So I walked into there, quietly confident really. I mean, Van Gerwen, to be fair, had won, I think, a couple of Pro Tours himself, so he was playing well. But yeah, I didn't fear it. I just kind of really looked forward to it. I mean, it'd been a long time coming. I'd qualified in the November, I think. I didn't play till the May. So, so what went in my favour really is that I'd had sort of 4 or 5 months on the Pro Tour, and it hardened me up really. So I didn't really fear playing Van Gerwen, but obviously.
Kind of like settled you in then, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he was a massive favourite, of course he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd never feared it. I wouldn't say I didn't think I'd win, but I kind of didn't expect to win. But I quietly thought,
I'm going to prove you
I
wrong.
fancy
It's
it.
not always a bad thing being underdog going into a game.
No, I did. I fancied it as soon as I kind of, because I went there. So Simon Whitlock was playing on the finals. So it's Premier League finals night.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was good friends with Whitlock at the time, so we just practiced together for the however long, and we were just playing like 1-2-1 finishes and things like that. And we actually both said, so Whitlock hit a 9-darter that night, and we were both pinning treble 15 for like 81, which most of the time we go treble 19.
Yeah.
And so we both said if we've got 81 or 141, we'll go treble 18. And he hit a 9-darter by going treble 15
Yeah.
by going treble 15 double 18, and I took out 81 by going treble 15 double 18. So it was just like little things like that it just settles you down. Like you just it was a good night.
So once you did win it, I can imagine a lot of emotion after celebrating with your dad and that, all your family. What was that like?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, you know what I'm like, Ben. I'm not really a massive, I'm quite a quiet lad really, away from darts. I'm not, so I didn't really celebrate it, to be honest, because we were going to Reading I think a couple of days later for like a youth tour. So they all actually went home and I went to a hotel to then go over to Reading. So I didn't really think about it much. Like I was just, obviously I was over the moon, of course I was. But I was just laser focused on my career, so it was just my phone blew up obviously, and I think I had a BlackBerry at the time, and it was amazing.
Pins.
Yeah, that's it. But it was, I'm not trying to say I wasn't a great, but I was just genuinely laser focused on, and I did go to Reading and won a couple there, so I was like just. Next game.
Yeah.
But
Do you still look back on that as your greatest thing in darts today?
I'd say, I mean, it's. Yeah, achievement-wise it would be, but I still think qualifying for the World Match Play was the greatest. Yeah, because I mean, it's the top 32 in the world, and I qualified. So, I say top 32 in the world. It was top 16, and then the 16 outside of.
Yeah.
And I think I qualified like 4th or something. So I was probably like the 20th best player in the world at the time. So I'd always say probably that. But obviously, achievement-wise, it would be, accolade-wise, I guess would be. Would be the World Youth.
It's always pinned to your name.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. So I always get like, Van Gerwen wasn't good then, or you done it then. And I was like, he was still pretty decent. So it wasn't like he, obviously he went on.
You always get them people though, do you?
But I mean, I'd never. I'm over the moon, obviously, to have won it, and but like I said, I was just laser focused, so I didn't really celebrate it as much as I probably should have done, which I kind of regret actually. You should have a few beers afterwards or something, and
definitely
have fun. But, yeah.
Well, I was going to kind of go back to that, the final itself. So obviously. It's playing on TV. How did you actually I know you won.
Yeah.
But were you really nervous on the big stage? I sort of felt quite comfortable.
Well, I was lucky again because I played the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So I qualified for the World Youth Final and then played the Grand Slam in the November. And my first game was Phil Taylor. So, I mean, it wasn't really it was kind of the hardest draw, but it was also, it's not going to get any harder than this. Yeah. It's also not going to get any more pressure than this. So when I got through the Grand Slam, I kind of just felt all right. Like,
how was Phil like? Did he speak to you before?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But again, he knew.
Stories of Phil. He sometimes has a little.
Yeah, no, he was
tries to intimidate people. Were there any of that? Or?
I mean, not really. I mean, he knew my dad, so like he kind of knew me. Well, I say he knew me. He would have seen me around, sort of like probably asking for a quid or something, But yeah, so we had like a common ground between us. So he was really good with me, and Dad was there anyway. So that first Grand Slam, he was. I mean, he gave me a lot of advice as well, to be fair. And actually, we remained friends for the amount of time I was on the tour. We practiced together quite a lot. So, as in at events, not like at his house or anything. But he was good with me. So
good.
What's the best bit of advice he gave you?
Well, just that one I said earlier. there's 128 James Hubbers in the room. But that is honestly that's the best bit of advice I've ever had.
That is good to
just because then you realise that everyone is as good as each other, and you can think you're great, but
you can
and
be humble,
also,
can't you?
and also you've got to remember that there is players worse than you, but if you treat them like they're as good as you, you don't take it for for granted. So.
And then when you did qualify for the Grand Slam, you won the World Youth Grand Slam again, the match play.
Yeah.
Did you really think, obviously, World Championship was why you lost to Richard Burnett, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you start to think to yourself, you know what, I could do this for a very, very long time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Was, I mean, I think I broke through to the top 50 in like 4 or 5 months, so it was going great. But yeah, I don't really know. But,
did you put a deposit down on Ferrari at this point?
Yeah, I was kept saying, because I think I actually still had one of those children's bank accounts. So my mum was like, "You're doing all right here."
A bit of money in
I was
this.
like, leave it alone, mum. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, I think they could actually see. I was earning all right. It's obviously a lot different now, but yeah, I was just loving being a professional dart player, because I honestly didn't think that I wanted to do anything else. So darts was easy, right, for me at the time. So I was like, I could just lay in bed and play darts. It's great.
When you say you had that children's bank account, I can just imagine him with little Yorkshire bank book.
Yeah.
Taking it up to Barry and just put my prize money in
it wasn't far off that though, Ben. It honestly wasn't. I'd have to say, my dad can have a tenner. No, no, it was. So yeah, he could. I'm sure it was like that. I might be wrong, but I know it was around. We were trying to like sort my money out at the time. Whether it be ISAs or whatever, and so they did help me. So yeah.
And going back to that with the World Championship and the match play, obviously you lost to Wes Newton in the match play, and it was Richard Burnett at the World Championship. Which venue do you prefer, Ali Pali or the Winter Gardens?
Winter Gardens.
Yeah.
By a mile. Yeah. Ali Pali was good, but I think I played in the. They've moved it round now. So I played in kind of like the smaller room. Well, it's the same room, but I think they. I can't remember how they did it, but they turned it round somehow. Winter Gardens is just so iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
This amount of dart players that say Winter
unbelievable.
Gardens. Like when we had Paul Inks on last week, and he was telling us how he'd been around the world, all around the world, and what's best place you've ever been? Blackpool.
Oh, mate,
Winter Gardens.
It's one of those things you walk in and especially as a player to have qualified for it. I mean, I played on my 20th birthday, so it was quite a good day anyway, in the sense of being at my birthday, but you just look up and you just see, and it's so like it's on you as well. So it's not, it's not a very big venue. People, it looks massive not massive on TV, but it looks bigger on TV.
Yeah.
But it's everyone is on you, so it's like
and it's hot in
you
there
can
as well.
fit. Yeah, oh god, I sweat.
Yeah.
I was sweating terribly. So, but yeah, definitely the match play was the Winter Gardens.
From there, when did it start to sort of feel like it was sort of going a bit wrong for yourself? Like you obviously qualified for the big majors. They sort of tailed off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play very well at the World Championship. I wasn't. I always say like I didn't feel very well at the World Championship, but I think it was more like I was nervous, under pressure, maybe anxious.
Yeah.
So I was sick a couple of times that day and couldn't relax. And I think it was more that I kind of knew that my career was sliding a little bit and I was under pressure. So, obviously mental health nowadays is talked about a lot more, but maybe then I was starting to get a bit anxious about stuff.
Do you think you were putting a bit too much pressure on yourself?
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt.
And there's expectations as well, isn't there? And
yeah. And, at the time as well, I was sort of the name that everyone wanted to avoid in the nice respect, but I wasn't playing very well. So Richard Burnett was probably kind of annoyed about the draw, because I think I was, again, like 2 or 3 on the qualifiers outside the 32. So, I was having a great season, but I just went into that not playing well. And I think it was more after the match play. I played all right in the world match play, and then I just got a bit complacent because, you've qualified for the world match play. You're in the top 40 in the world, this is easy. I've done this in 6 months. Like, what is everyone worrying about? And then suddenly if you don't practice, people catch up with you. And that was, that was the big thing. So, yeah.
You had a few majors, didn't you, in PDC qualifying for them? What were your times like at Bolton for UK Open?
Yeah, Bolton was always good. First one I played there, I was seeded, lost to Terry Jenkins. I think he was number 1 seed at the time. or number 2. I was hoping to be on telly on the main stage because I'd watched my dad play there so many times, and I was like, I just want to play one time on that main stage. And I was saying to Ben earlier, actually, the year before I played there, I went and watched Reece Robinson, and he played Simon Whitlock there. And again, Reece is a good mate of ours, and I was like, why am I not playing up there? You know. So yeah, eventually I did get to play there. I played John Scott on the main stage. I think they felt sorry for me and put me on there. You know, but I think it was like a prelim or something. But anyway, yeah, I loved being up there. And but yeah, Bolton was good, mate. I mean, you've been at Bolton. It was, brilliant. Yeah. Because you had all the 8 boards.
You came up like now. I mean, I go down to Minehead for UK at the end. Just being able to walk about. You know, all different boards. I think it's
should have got to Bolton, mate. Bolton was.
I've been to Bolton as well. Oh, you have? I went to Bolton as well.
See, the thing is, because I actually went there.
Oh my God, that's so badly.
I went to Bolton weirdly about 3 or 4 weeks ago for it was the old, well, I can't remember what it's called now. It was the old Gold Cup, the BDO Gold Cup.
Oh yeah.
I think they call it now like the UKDA National Finals or whatever. But it was in the same room as the UK Open, so I was like, gosh, it's still the same carpet.
Yeah, just like in a suite, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'd stood on top of that balcony a few times and watched Phil Taylor hit 9 darts. So I was like, he hit one against Matt Chapman and maybe Shane Burgess, was it, something like that? Can't quite remember. But I saw 2, and that was, you know, obviously there with my dad. Yeah. And so yeah, I've got great memories of Bolton.
And the Players' Championship events behind closed doors, what's your best ever run in one of them?
I think I got a semi-final, lost to Dolan. I think it was Brendan Dolan. Might have had a couple of semi-finals, can't quite remember, but a couple of quarter-finals on the European Tour, and then I think 2 semi-finals on Pro Tour. But they're brutal though. They're not easy, mate.
You got to have one of them days, haven't you?
What is it, didn't you? You qualified for German European Tour. Was that in your debut season on?
Yeah.
As a professional?
Yeah. So that was when I think they'd only had they only just introduced European Tour. I don't know. I can't. They maybe have had a year or so, or they just 2012. So the first one I qualified for, I think the first couple, and then was seeded. So I was in them sort of automatically. So, but they were brilliant European tours. It was a shame really because they didn't stream them back then. So it's kind of lost, in time, my performances there. But I had some great games on the European tour.
Yeah. Notable one, Adi Lewis, 6-4
Yeah, I was world champion at the time as well. Yeah. I was world youth champion. He was world champion. Yeah, I think I averaged over 100 in that game. So it's a shame really because I say it to my friends and stuff, but you can't. Well, I mean, they would have. It's still on the PDC website somewhere, but you can't. I'd love to be able to show my kids or something, Yeah, we didn't have
chalkboard.
Kind of for that. No, it probably was. Yeah.
That must have felt good, obviously, because European Tour, it's kind of like it's can't be on a big stage on TV.
Well,
in a weird
it
way.
basically is TV. Yeah. So they didn't. I think they streamed sort of this. So the first year that I played, it wasn't streamed. You could watch it as the scores go in, like it is now on Darts Connect. But it was like this crappy system they had.
Yeah.
Which obviously, at the time, it just was what it was. But yeah, the second and third year playing on European Tour was then streamed, but I wasn't as good then, so I was like, I could have put the better game on, But yeah, no, the European Tour was great. So again, for experience, it was basically like playing on TV. So yeah, it was great.
Was that the only European Tour what you did play in? Or
no, I played in. I must have played in over 15, 20, probably something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely played in 5 or 6, 7 in the first season. Then again, I was then seeded after that, so I probably played quite a few after that. But the first one I played, the first seeded one I played was at Minehead. So they actually done a European tour in Minehead, And my first tournament was in Benidorm, and I thought I'd made it, but it was in January.
I've played in a tournament, but
God,
not seeded on in BDO.
It might have been the same venue.
That knockout they had in hotel don't count as a fucking tournament.
Honestly, I turned pro. I say turned pro, got on the pro tour, and then the first tournament was Benidorm. So I was saying to all my mates, I'm going to Benidorm and play darts. Bloody January.
Sue's Darts Bar.
Everything's closed.
Local comp in there.
We saw a couple of years ago, so you got back to the UK Open and got to the last 16.
Yeah.
When you were playing there, did you feel quarters, semis, maybe a final?
Yeah, did Van Gerwen beat me, I think? Was it Van Gerwen? I can't remember. who beat. Yeah, I was. I just darts never leaves you.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's that old sort of stupid saying of form's temporary, class permanent, but it is kind of true. Like you don't. I'm not saying I'm class, but you know how to play darts. You know, Ben could turn up after 6 months of playing and be okay again. You know, but
debatable.
Well, you know, true. No, but we've all got it in us.
Yeah.
And, so I think you know, when you have deep runs like that, you always do think about, can I win it, or can I do this? But yeah, I'll just keep plodding along.
So at what point, like, you know, as you're progressing through your career, were you thinking, I can be a world champion? You know, a senior world champion. You know, was that thoughts in your head? Were you?
I don't know. No, I think I was always a realist. So I probably didn't. I say a realist. I mean, obviously, I'd won the World Youth Championship, so natural progression. You know, Michael Smith won the world title and whatever. But I always said, like, to friends and family and stuff, if I could be behind Gary Anderson, Phil Taylor, Michael van Gerwen, or whatever, and say I was like 6th in the world, that's my one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my. I'd be world number one, because you know, I think you've got to probably admit to yourself sometimes that you're not as good as Phil Taylor. Yeah. You're not as good as Gary Anderson. You're not, but you can still compete with those players, and so you can win a world title. Of course you can, but you know, I'm a great dart player. But I just think you have to admit that you're not. You know, Phil Taylor was a machine. You know, and I'm very good, but like, I'm not that good.
So playing against the likes of Phil Taylor and, you know, your good friend Merv King. How did that, like, actually set you up? Did that, like, you know, give you a good foundation in thinking, well, yeah, I can hold my own against these?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you start competing, that's the thing. If you're competitive with players, you know, say early on you might lose 6-1 to Phil Taylor, or 5. Well, I think I lost 5-1 the first time I played Phil Taylor. Then the next time it might have been 6-2 or 6-3 or 5-3, and it's not like. Again, you're not walking into the game thinking you're going to lose, because, I mean, what's the point, right? I'm obviously going into every game thinking I'm going to win, but if I can just keep with him, or keep with these players, you start to then, they question it. Like, oh, James is playing right here. You know, and then you start beating, you know, players like Peter Wright, Adrian Lewis, Gary Anderson, Barneveld, Taylor, and all, you know, and that's when they then start to take notice, because it's the same in, like, local league. Say you play someone that isn't as good as you, if they take a leg, the next time they will think, oh, I took a leg off James.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like Phil Taylor he'd look at James Hubbard and think, oh, he's a new kid, I'll just smash him 6-0. But if I get a leg or two, you know, you think, well, next time, like, I'll get more. And it's just a process, and it's not a defeatist attitude. I just think I was always like that. Try and build.
That's the thing. You have personally got a very strong mindset. Whereas some people, it'd absolutely destroy them. You know, they are playing against Phil Taylor, and if they do lose 5 or 6-1, that could actually, you know, really get to someone, couldn't it? But for you to come out and, you know, say the mindset, and you're a realist, and like, you know, I've taken a leg off him, and that I'll build on that. That's the difference between some people.
It is a difference, and I'm not saying, you know, obviously my career didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I was never because I didn't believe. I always believed. It was just that, you know, things didn't go quite my way. But if you talk to the top professionals, they've all got the same mindset. You know, it's not just, you know, I haven't just come up with it. I think it's just built in you that, you know, you do have to be a realist, and you do have to understand that there is, you know, Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer ever, right? If I was Lee Westwood, I understand that I'm not as good as Tiger Woods, but I can still compete with Tiger Woods. And Lee Westwood got probably to number one, I think. So, you know, you just have to understand that there are better players around you.
It's like Peter Wright once said, which is like a really good sort of advice. He said before, if you hit a 60, get your darts, go again. Hit a 180, just keep going. If you get a chance, try and take it.
Yeah, there's little things like I've Sean Griffith said to me, score high, finish quick, and it's so easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's so easy to think that, but it's so hard to do.
You just got to relax and keep going.
Yeah, just score high, finish quick.
Who were your, like, darting idol growing up?
Wayne Marder was my darting idol. Yeah. Obviously my dad, but yeah, Wayne Mardle, yeah. Still very good friends with him. Well, I say very good friends, you know, we talk whenever I see him, we're close.
I'm quite close, good friends with Wayne. I were at an exhibition in Blackpool before.
Yeah, he's
what
just
a guy,
the
man.
best guy, mate.
Yeah,
and, you know, again,
I don't think Wayne gets credit he deserves for his
Oh,
day.
no, not at all. He was a wonderful player.
Yeah.
But, and the showman, I think I loved the showman side of it, you know, just walk on and
There's not enough for that
didn't
anymore.
care. Like I used to, you know, I think he played Taylor at the 2008 Worlds, and I think he beat him and then lost to Shepherd, didn't he?
That's right, yeah.
But it was like the whole game. It was like it
were a roller
just
coaster,
unbelievable.
wasn't it? Emotions everywhere, mate.
Yeah.
He should have gone to the final that year.
Oh yeah, he should have done. But
that
I mean, I say I've spoken to him. Like he spoke about it a lot, and I have spoken to him personally about it. But he tried to slow Kirk down, and you just couldn't do it. But,
yeah, I saw a video a few years ago. He said that he thought there's no way he can possibly lose.
No, well, I mean, he's just beat Phil Taylor, right?
Yeah,
so I mean, he's had a great tournament as well. But
Did you ever come up against Wayne then?
No.
Wayne
He was done the year or two before. Yeah, he was. I think he was a pundit. I assume he probably was by that point.
I think he retired in 2011. Rightly.
Yeah, so I turned pro 2012. So yeah, I knew. But he's obviously just lost his wife, hasn't he? Bless him. So terrible, really. But yeah, good to see him back.
So you've obviously had a great career in the youth, done brilliant in the PDC youth. Did all right as a senior, I say senior, you know, as a tour card holder. You did step back away from darts then, didn't you? After a while, what were the factors of that? Was it just because you did go for the boil a bit, or
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Did you lose your tour card as well?
Yeah, I lost my tour card. Yeah, then went to Q school, tried to get back in, didn't quite happen, you know. But I think I was just bitter towards it more than anything. I just had enough of it, and the more you try, the worse it gets. And if you're not enjoying it, I've always said that, and again, it's a cliche, but if you're not enjoying playing, there's just a waste of time. You know, it's the same as going to work or whatever you're doing. But I wasn't competing, and I've always said, like, I don't mind playing badly, but if I'm not competing, I'm losing like 5-0 on Challenge Tour. It's like,
can you pinpoint that down to anything? Why you weren't playing well? Were you practicing the same? Were you?
Yeah, I just started holding my dart weird and stuff, and like, I don't really know. I wasn't really dartitis, but I started like fiddling with my dart and
changing things.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know, it was just odd. But I think it was more complacency, right? And then as soon as it's gone, and it's really hard to get that back. So.
And how did that feel for you? Like, obviously, you were the World Youth Champion. You made a lot of TV appearances as a tour card holder. What was that like for you from stepping away from it? And like, you know, were you still getting questions asked a lot of time? When it started to bug you a bit as to like, you know, what fucking hell, I were an unbelievable player. I can imagine that was like emotionally draining for you as well.
Yeah, well, mate, it was. Yeah. I mean, I got asked. I still get asked now. You know, all the time, like what went wrong and what happened. Because you know, I've said yeah. But I've said so many times, like, and again, it's not an arrogant way. Like, I was like the OG Littler. It was like it was you know, it was the first like kind of player to come through and from.
They threw them labels, the next Phil Taylor.
No, exactly, and it was hard. It was hard, and there's no shame in that. And like I said earlier, there was no like mental health awareness then, and I'm not blaming it on that at all. But I was certainly under pressure more than what I thought. I started to get more anxious. I was struggling to even travel to events, and it just is what it is. Like, I don't think, and you've got to remember, I was 19, 20 years old. So, but especially like Ben just said, like at the back end of it, I'd had enough. So I walked away because I resented the game. I was bitter towards
We're
the
literally
game.
like that then, James. Darts down,
just put
done.
down. Yeah. I went to Q school 17 maybe. Barely won a leg. Was dreadful, and I just said, I'm done. I didn't want to tarnish. Well, I already had to a point, but I didn't want to tarnish what I'd achieved. I was just so bad, and I don't know why. It was really bad. Like, I was averaging 75 like all the time. It was like, you can't compete averaging 75.
That's a decent game. That.
It's just
20
more,
dart leg.
I'll take that every day. It's just more mindset, really.
Yeah, no, it was mindset.
It's just like you go for a stage where you're feeling confident, feeling comfortable. So like, am I really going to do a 100 average? Am I going to do 15 darters? Can I do a 12 darter? Sort of go from there.
I just couldn't get into a game. That was
Yeah.
basically what I couldn't get my mind round trying to win a game.
And you went from would you like sort of go from like, get me darts, come on, let's hit 140 to more like...
I was just trying to keep straight. That was
Yeah.
honestly how bad it was. And
Yeah.
I'm not.
Steady sixes.
Yeah, I just.
And like you
honestly-
said at start, you were straight
Yeah,
player.
yeah, and I was bad. There's no doubt about that.
Big
and
20s if fault drops in, it's a bonus.
yeah, he snatched one in the treble here and there, or whatever. But
yeah.
no, it did get bad, and and I thoroughly enjoyed walking away. To be fair, I'd had enough. And don't be wrong, I don't think I've never really said it much, but the DRA are a bit harsh on me at times. They fine me for stupid things where they could have like probably put their arm around me and
Yeah,
said, "Look,
yeah.
James,
Yeah.
you're going through it a bit here," or
That's another 50 quid coming.
yeah. something, 50
I
quid
don't
That's
spend
it,
this-
doing it. They loved handing them 50
Yeah.
Oh, mate, honestly,
I
It's
don't
just
mean this
like,
in
you
like a
know.
bad way at all as well, but did you feel embarrassed at all like
Oh,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. Yeah. Every time I remember, I'd go up and chalk after a game, and I'd look at that PDC sign and just be like, because we didn't have the Dart Connect.
Yeah.
thing, just like chalking. And I was like, this is the last time I'm playing it. But then I'd be back the following week.
Yeah.
And then I'd do it again. It's the last time I'm playing it. I just.
And that's hard on yourself as well,
Yeah,
trying to do that
but,
as well,
but
isn't it?
like I said earlier, darts doesn't leave you, right? So, and it wasn't a pipe dream. I'd done it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was there, for no reason. It was just, I just needed a break. I really needed a break. And like I said earlier, I'd been playing since 5, 6, 7 years old competitively from 9, 10, 11. It's a long time. So I walked away at 25 years old, I guess, which is a bit mad to think that I'd won the World Youth.
Same as
6
some
years
people
before.
don't see this, do they? It's like, like you come and you win World Youth, but they don't realise you've played X amount of years before that.
Yeah.
It's same with Luke Littler now. They don't realise that kid's been playing since, 5, 6 year old?
Yeah,
he's
absolutely,
he's not just been...
He's only 10 years in.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But, do you know what I mean? Like, you've had a decent amount of time before.
Yeah.
You've even been, like, made aware to the public. So you've put a graft in before that,
Yeah,
haven't
well,
you?
again, a lot of people don't know this. Like, when I was a kid, I was on I was about 10, 11 years old. I went on to this BBC 3 show called Live at Johnny's. It was Johnny Vaughan and Lauren Laverne.
Oh, right.
Right?
And I'd go on there, and there was like this, supposed to be this next great darts star, and I'd score over 100 to get an Xbox. It's probably where the Call of Duty started. So I hit 85 and then hit like a 20, and so I won, right?
Yeah.
So it was more like they were interviewing my dad as well, so it was like we were both there and stuff. And Peter Andre was on there, he'd just come out of the jungle. Yeah. And then I got offered the Jay Leno show in America.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the only reason I didn't go is because there was
Criminal
one of the
Record.
big, it's like Mel Gibson or Nicole Kidman or something like that, had brought out like a big movie, so they dropped me.
Oh,
But that was fine. No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've still got all the documentation at home and stuff. Like, but yeah, because I remember we had an answer, a message on the answer machine, and it's these Americans going, "Is this James Hubbard's house? We'd like to invite him on the Jay Leno show." I was like, "What's that?" But then it was
sounds
like
like
huge
Nicky
then.
Pierce off Only Fools and Horses pulling a fasting on you.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'd felt like I'd been around it for a long time, so I think the pressure and stuff had finally got to me a little bit. And my dad always said I played in Berlin in a European tour, qualified for the match play that day, and I cried afterwards, as in on stage, and he thinks that was when I broke,
Okay.
as in the pressure. I thought it was because I was happy,
Yeah.
but he just went, I think
Your
the
dad
pressure's
said
got
that
to you.
to you?
Yeah, he said, I think the pressure's got to you, James. You need to, try and sort of
Right.
settle down a bit. But
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm just happy to get through, Dad. But looking back on it now, he was probably right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I guess it's hard being like a youth champion at such a young age, and then obviously years later, it's always James Hubbard there, ex world youth champion.
Well, I still, and I still get it. You obviously still get it now. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't have won the World Youth or done. Is what it is. But like I said, I'll always be proud of it. It's not a burden on me. I'll be proud of it till the
it's all right.
day I pass.
Yeah,
I've got
100%.
kids now, and I've got the I can't remember who done it for me now, but the old scoreboard and stuff, and you
Oh,
can,
yeah,
me and
I know what you.
yeah,
That's
like
pretty cool, that,
anyway,
yeah.
it's in the kitchen, so my kids are like, "Oh, Daddy, is that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I was good
No.
once,
There's,
So obviously-
no one who can
yeah.
take that away. From
No,
you,
absolutely not,
you
mate.
had
No,
it, yeah.
absolutely not.
So obviously you put the darts down for a few years. I think you came back. Was it in 2021? You started playing again a bit.
Yeah,
Got called up to a few pro tours, right?
yeah. Well, I went to Q school just before COVID, so 2019, 2020, something like that. So whatever year followed was COVID.
Yeah.
And played really, really well at Q school. Just missed out. I lost to Damon Hetter the year he got his card actually.
Yeah, look at now,
but that was quarter final, and I really, really did play well. And I thought, oh, you know, something's kind of happening again here. But the reason I started again was just I basically got a phone call off Jason Tame, who does the modus stuff. And he just said, do you want to do an exhibition at Carrow Road at Norwich? And I was like, well, obviously. I mean, you know. Well, I kind of thought, maybe not. But then I was like, well, I can't not do one at Norwich.
Why not,
I was like, I'm not thrown for like 2 years, you know. But I played really well.
Had you literally not played at all in those 2 years?
I played sporadically, but not. I'd never like practice. I'd not gone to tournaments. I'd play a bit locally, maybe here and there. So I hadn't like completely put them down, but I'd play once a month or something. You know,
there were no like full commitment.
No, not at all. No. So, but yeah, that night at Carrow Road, I beat Peter Wright and thought, well, you know, I know it's only an exhibition, and he won the world title like a couple of months later. So I was like, oh, I can kind of still hack it with these people or these stars, really. And then I went to Q School, didn't get through, but played well. And then I did the challenge tour the week after. I think I made 2 semi-finals and a quarter-final or something like that. So then I was seeded on the challenge tour, or not seeded, but you're top whatever. And then I got topped into the Pro Tour. So I played my first Pro Tour in however many years, and then COVID hit, and people were like leaving during the event because the borders were going. I was like, "Is this? It can't be happening to me." Like, just got back, and just my luck.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Now that you are back playing again. Obviously, darts is just getting better and better. The standard's getting better and better. Do you think that the standard is like as good or better personally yourself? Like even in local comps and that.
Well, I think professionally, on the PDC, I think that the ceiling's come down slightly, but the standard's gone up at the bottom. So I think like you had like Phil Taylor, Van Gerwen, and Adrian Lewis, Gary Hansen. They were averaging 110 every week. You don't see that all the time anymore, do you?
No.
Not really. I mean, you do see, but I mean, Phil Taylor was winning like Premier Leagues and stuff, run on like 108 average. Like that doesn't happen now. But the standard has gone up from the bottom. So I think the standard's way better professionally now, but you just don't have those, which is why no one dominates now.
No,
really,
it is very spread out, isn't it?
It's spread out more than it was. I know, obviously Humphreys and Littler. And
can you not see Luke Littler?
I don't think
doing what Phil did.
No, I don't think so.
Obviously, I can't see anyone winning 16 world titles.
Littler's obviously unbelievable, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, he's probably the greatest talent we've ever seen. Phil Taylor wasn't naturally talented. No, he was just a brilliant dart player. Yeah. You know, he worked at it. Van Gerwen was naturally talented. Yeah. Adrian Lewis. Well, I mean, he's probably the best since Adrian Lewis and Van Gerwen. You know, but I don't think there's too many good players now.
Well, personally, I don't think Luke Littler will play I don't think he'll play for 10 years.
No, I think he needs to just get his money.
I genuinely think he's a celebrity.
Yeah, he is.
Like you've just said, a phenomenal darting talent. But the amount of money what he will make in the next 10 years, he doesn't need to play.
You've got to think as well. Life's changed now, in the sense of social media and reality TV and things like that. He doesn't need to put himself through playing darts forever. I think that's what kind of Michael's going through at the moment as well. He's earned his money, Van Gerwen. I mean, Michael Smith's similar. You know, Adrian Lewis has walked away. I know he had his personal reasons and stuff, but there's a lot of players not playing as much because they've earned money. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't need to. Yeah. And it's grueling. It's the same. You know, you're travelling a lot, aren't you? So you know.
It can get a bit much after a while. I'm guessing, definitely.
It's well documented now what you are playing Backwell again on the modus, which is obviously a great stepping stone for the ADC and that. How do you think you're playing again now and that, and what triggered it all to come back to you and that, and you know, go to these local events, to get the coverage again on TV, what the modus do give you? Or would it just literally think, oh, I'll just get back into it and see where it goes type of thing? Did you have that bit of like drive to get back in front of the camera?
Not at first. To be honest, I was just having a drink with my mates and put a tweet out saying I might come back and play. That was literally all it was. I just had a few drinks, was saying to my mates, I might go play again or whatever. And I have a half decent following on Twitter, and I basically just got a direct message from the Moda Super Series saying, well, if you're going to come back,
Oh, nice.
Do you want to play?
Bit of an invite then.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went, well, when?
Yeah.
And I think it was like, I don't know.
Oh, so you aren't at your place then?
No. I heard it, mate. World Youth Champ. No, I'm joking.
I'll be dropping that
Yeah,
one.
no, I'm joking. So I basically was just invited, and they gave me 6 weeks, I think. So practiced for 6 weeks, went and loved it. Really, I was like riding a bike. You know, I didn't play like amazingly well, but I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because I've always loved the competitive side of it. You know, I think we can all say that with darts. Like, if you're in a competitive match and there's pressure on you and stuff, I think it's great. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of went from there. And because I was invited, I thought, well, I'll try and qualify myself. So I'll do the ADC stuff, and that's really helped. And you know, I've been averaging 90 to 100, probably 75% of the time in certain vaults and stuff. So, I mean, you know, if you do that, you can certainly compete at the top level.
100%.
So
It is a good night's practice.
It is. Yeah.
Sadly, you don't really see many darts leagues these days. You know, with a lot of pubs,
They're
shutting.
dropping out there now. It's funny.
It's kind of like the ADC have taken over this, where they
have
get a
done.
venue, a decent sized venue, where it's a good practice, competitive night.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said.
Well, you got to think as well. Like, I know it's only best of 3 at the start or whatever, but the end. At the end of the night, you get your points and stuff, and it goes towards whatever. But after that, there's so many big things you can qualify for. So you can see why sort of the darts local leagues are dying out, which is a shame because you do need them.
I do think it's a good stepping stone again. For like the people who do want to go compete on, say, like the WDF now. Whereas before, if you're just playing it, no disrespect to like pubs leagues or out like that, you do get some other players there thinking, well, there's a bit of money on offer here tonight. I'll go try win a few quid.
I think it also sharpens you up, doesn't it? Like
Absolutely.
if you play,
there's no better than match practice.
because we've all played local league, and it is great because
some of us still after James because that's all we've got, man.
I still play a bit locally, but at the same time, I can see why the ADC stuff has done well, and they have done well. Like, you know, Scott Hunt and all them lads, they have done unbelievably well, and I think that probably is the future now of amateur darts because. Even like counties struggling a little bit and stuff. UKDA have actually done quite a good job, but you know, I think it'll be more players aren't gonna, cost of living as well.
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
not going out and trying to earn money playing darts, and you go to like a local pub and have a couple of pints or a couple of cokes or whatever, it adds up, and you don't get any money at the end of it. But the ADC stuff you do. So
So what's your plans now for the future in your darts? Are you looking for a tour card again? Is that, is this something in your thoughts for the future?
I am thinking about it. Yeah. I've been lucky with it. I've got some good sponsors now, local sponsors that have been willing to help me out, which obviously helps. As soon as you go to events and stuff, you're not paying for it yourself, or So I'll just see how I feel before January, because obviously January's Q school.
Yeah.
Get through
So
that.
is that any thoughts? January
Absolutely.
Q school, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I'm back on Modus in a couple of months. Play that and kind of see how I feel. But yeah, I would like to. There's no, I wouldn't be playing otherwise. So I'm not.
Do you feel now like, I mean, you're still 33 now,
yeah.
James, so you're still young enough to get out there and do it all again, I guess.
Yeah.
So is it now that you've matured a bit?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, without a doubt. Yeah. There's
you've got
no
a different mindset coming into it a second
100%,
time around?
100%. Yeah. I'm not getting, I don't get annoyed like I used to when I, you just, I think, especially when you, like I said, I've had kids and stuff, it's like darts isn't everything.
Yeah.
Where it used to feel like it was everything, like all the time. So I think, I wouldn't play if I didn't want to go pro again. So I can't just play local league or county. I need to, have goals. And to answer the question,
So getting back on pro tour
is
a goal.
I'd love to. Yeah. I know it'll be difficult, and I'm not saying I'm going to do it next year or the year after, but there's obviously a process, and but at times, I need to get more consistent. But I've been playing well enough to, definitely.
And that is how you like managing life between family and darts as well, by just going to ADCs a couple of nights a week or whatever.
Yeah, basically just keep my arm in. You can't, when you've got kids and stuff and a family, you can't be away all the time, so it is difficult. and they come first, right? So I am lucky. I've got a supportive partner, and my dad I work with. So whenever I need time off, I just
Do you want to
gives me
give
time off, so.
your business a bit of a plug?
No, we don't.
No.
You don't want any more work. That's what it is.
No, we've got enough.
Yeah.
Murdered out with it.
He's the best painter in the house, though, so it's all right. We'll let him carry on.
Well, we'll just do a. You can just edit this a bit, Sam. Shall we look to start like wrapping it up now? Then,
Yeah,
and,
exchange you.
And well, what is it?
Oh,
we'll,
sorry, I don't
we'll
worry,
just
it's
do
up
like
to
a
you.
bit of a
Yeah.
quick fire round now.
Yeah.
Closing, a bit of a closing
Sure,
message,
mate.
but we'll. So yeah, just do a bit of a quick fire. If you want to get your paper out, we'll do like one each off that.
I left mine in there, man. I had mine all the way through. I've been
Just
winging
leave it
this.
all there. Right.
Fucking useless.
So, yeah, and then. So who was, apart from your dad, who was your favourite player growing up then?
Wayne Mardle, without a doubt. Yeah, he was the ultimate showman.
Best game you've ever played?
Oh, not sure. Probably under the pressure. Probably Van Gerwen in the World Youth Final.
Toughest opponent faced?
Phil Taylor.
Best friend in darts?
I've got a couple probably. Aaron Monk, Mark Webster, Paul Nicholson as well.
All right, James, you've got loads of friends.
just
all
hold
right,
it.
Look at it.
Ben Aldroyd.
Just 3 words to describe your playing style.
I'm going to do the old Eric Bristow thing. Arrogant, irresponsible genius.
Can't I? Alternative walk-on song.
Slide Away Oasis.
I'm mad actually that.
Dream darts venue. What isn't on the PDC at the minute?
Carrow Road.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Bit
Norwich.
of open air.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norwich.
Yeah?
Yeah? Well, I mean, we could
Bit
find somewhere in there.
What's your
I don't know. Somewhere
highest-
in Norwich. I'm not
highest
sure.
ever average on or off TV?
131, I think it was. 131.86 or whatever. Yeah. Well, is it 4.11s? Whatever 4.11s
Nice.
is. Yeah.
It's crazy, bloody hell.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Yeah. Is it 131? Oh, I can't remember. It's 4. I had 4.11s in a.
What advice have you got for young dart players coming through then?
Not to take it too serious, I think, at times. I think a lot of us, there's so much pressure all the time as a kid. I think that the main thing when you're young is to actually just, it is cliche, but just enjoy playing it. Because it's going to get harder as you get, you move along. Same in life, really, I think. You love school. Well, not everyone loves school, but you go to school, you haven't got to pay bills or anything, have you?
Once
you
you
get-
left
become an adult.
school, you think if I could go back to
Yeah,
school, I'd
yeah.
love to do
No,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say just enjoy it, but number one is you need to count.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you can count, because if you can't count as a kid, you'll struggle at senior level.
Yeah.
What's next for you then, Hubbard? Do you reckon try and get back into the big time then? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
As
say
you
so.
said?
I hope so. Like I said, I've been lucky really. I got the Modus invite, and that has kind of kicked me up the arse a little bit. So, just to get that feeling of playing on a stream or TV or whatever again, it gives you the hunger. So, and also I want to make my kids proud, and still like my family proud and my girlfriend proud and all that sort of thing. So, I would love to hopefully get back.
There was one thing I was going to ask. I forgot to ask earlier. It's like looking back on your career, to date. Is there anything you look back on? Is there any regrets? Is there anything you'd change about what you've done throughout your career?
Yeah, probably quite a lot.
Yeah.
No, I think it's more. I got complacent. I think that's the main thing. I think if I really, look yourself in the mirror, I just got. I wouldn't say I got lazy. I took my eye off the ball a little bit, and because there's so many good players at whatever level there is in any sport, you can be caught up quite quickly. So I could have been the best at that time, and then don't practice properly for 6 months. You soon drop off.
I mean, speaking to you now, you don't come. You seem like a really humble guy. I mean, did you get a bit big-headed at any point?
No, I don't think I got ever. No, I wouldn't
No.
say I met, possibly in your own head you think, I've made it, brilliant.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, I think it's more complacent rather than arrogance or whatever. I probably just took it for granted.
And I don't think there's a wrong with a bit of arrogance now and again.
I think, you have to have it.
Yeah.
You have to have it to a point. But I think it was just, everything was going probably too smoothly. There was no bumps in the road, which I think, just really quickly is, Luke Littler's doing that at the moment. Eventually he'll start losing here and there, and it will become tough.
Yeah.
He's obviously good enough to get out of the rut, but, Phil Taylor's had ruts, Adrian Lewis had ruts, Gary Ansel, everyone has bad times, so yeah. But no, I would say, definitely I got complacent.
But you can look back and be proud of everything you've achieved.
Oh, absolutely, mate.
Man,
I'll never, if I didn't play professional darts again, I'd still be proud of what I achieved.
There's so many players out there that give anything.
Oh, not
just to turn pro was,
because at the end of the day, there's 128 people.
Yeah, and don't be wrong, my career hasn't been glittering at all. But just to be able to say that, as a kid, I wanted to be a professional dart player, just to say, well, I was. I'd take that, and I've still won a world title, whether it be at youth level or senior level, so I'd always be proud of it.
Before we do start wrapping up, then we asked Paul Inks this: if you're going out for a night out, who are the 5 people in darts who you're taking with you for a night out?
Well, Mark Webster's number 1 because he's the funniest man in the world. My dad. He might buy the rounds. And then I'd have Bristow.
Yeah.
100%. Because I never really got to know Eric Bristow. He kind of passed away, sort of.
Did you get to meet him?
Yeah, I met him.
Yeah.
He actually, he put me in the Premier League like 2012. When they were like talking who they put in. Yeah, so that I should thank him for it one day. Jockey Wilson.
Yeah.
And then Littler, because I've not met him. And I'd like to...
Ben was giving you a stare then, he wanted you to see him.
I was more thinking like who you'd met in darts, but it's a great 5.
Oh,
it's a great
who
5.
I met in darts?
I don't
It's a
think
good
Luke
night
thinks
out.
so, but...
Do you think like...
it's a good night
what,
out.
not dart players? You think who I've met in darts?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who who you'd take out with you.
You lot.
There we go.
All me pals.
Witty,
Yeah, the group chat.
Sam,
Yeah.
Pallet.
Sam Hamilton, Lee Whitworth, Aaron Monk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, another great episode,
Yeah.
boys. Just like to say thanks to James.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Jimmy,
It's been an
Jake.
absolute pleasure, mate. Yeah.
Episode number 2. Stay tuned for episode number 3 next week.
Plenty
Got
more
a
to
great
come.
guest for you.
Right, this is James Hubbard's Non-Dart Challenge. Oh. 41. You're keeping score over there.
It's cold in here.
Yeah, don't worry.
81.
Is that me ahead of you then, Kev?
122.
Yeah, 1, 2, 2.
And 43.
165.
James
Very
Hubbard
difficult.
scores 165. Well done, James.
Move them
you.
all down.
We have 6 darts, I'll
What a
do mine.
player.
John.
Jake Coast.
So,
I'll take 165. It's a good score.